Episode 5, right where we left off. Who's hyped? I'm hyped. Let's get into it. This episode we're going to be filling out the rest of our junior coaster. First thing on the docket, making a beautiful sign. Start off with a marble stone background. And kind of just looking through the pieces, trying to figure out what's going to make this sign look good. I end up finding some Viking dragon piece. And we're going to put that in as the center part of the sign. And I believe we also have a name for the coaster. I bring out the text, but I don't enjoy it. So we go with the 3D lettering. Of course, it takes us a little bit to find the 3D lettering, but we end up finding it. While looking for it, we find some flames. And we're going to add it to the sign, and I believe this really makes the sign pop. I love this sign. I think we did great. When I say we, I mean me. One thing I think they really did great with was the elements to make signs. I feel like there's a lot more freedom and choices in how we make our signs now, especially not having to use the Maker Toolkit letterings. I love that. And we're going to be naming this coaster Dragon Lair. Kind of a simple name, but it's a simple coaster. You know, it's for families, young children. Not a lot of inversion, or no inversions, not a lot of speed. Very simple coaster still. We go with a simple name. Not so much a simple sign. I think the sign looks great so far. And we go with the Dunkin' Donuts orange. Looking back, this sign looks a lot like Dunkin' Donuts, but we're rocking with it, man. The Dragon Lair. Everyone runs on the Dragon Lair. America runs on the Dragon Lair. That looks too much like Dunkin' Donuts. I'm glad I didn't go with that. And I think we are going with the green, yeah. So, I think that's good. I'm trying to keep the theming and the colors very similar to each other in this section of the park. So we go with the same green as what is on the coaster car. The actual dragon is kind of like a green color, so we'll go with that. And the orange is from the sign. What's the name? Splash Zone. And also I made the track the same orange. So like I said, keep trying to keep the themes nice and consistent in this part of the park. So another tip and possibly a trick is we're going to take the boulders and we're going to size them up and sink them into the ground. And using bigger boulders in Planet Coaster 2 is better than stacking smaller boulders on top of each other like we had to do in Planet Coaster 1. It just looks a lot better. We're going to be filling out the queue fence very similar, if, well, the exact same way as we did the exit path. And this one, I decided to keep the railing sticking out of the marble, which I think looks okay. Overall, I think the theming of this coaster has really come together. Looking back, I think it's good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if I nailed it, totally missed it, or could have done better. The sign I love. I think I nailed the sign. I think the station building looks pretty good. Looks like it's straight out of Greece. So we're going to bring back our favorite fence. We are going to just line the whole park basically in this fence, but right now we're just going to align this little coaster section. I think when you fence off parts of the park, it is pretty realistic. I mean, every amusement park I've been to has lots of fences everywhere. And one of my favorite things they put into the game, the scenery brush. It takes a little bit of tweaking to make it look good, but as a general layout, it's great. What I've been doing in this park is sort of just going nuts with it at the beginning like you saw, and then going back in and just editing it, everything a little bit. I find it's a little bit faster to do it that way than kind of placing it manually, but also then trying to do the brush, like fine-tune the brush details, when you can just kind of just blast a bunch of things over everything and go back and manually fix it. The only thing you want to really, another tip and trick when you're doing these brush areas, is just a lot of variation. So in Planet Coaster 2, it's really easy to have that variation. In the first game, it took a lot of effort, but they made it really, really easy in this one. So, you know, turning plants, using different plants. Also trying to keep some space. You know, you'll see me go through and just delete some stuff that really isn't necessary or even needed at all. And in this game, I like to use the scenery brush for small plants first, and then we go back in either manually or with the scenery brush once again with large trees. I believe I do all manual for the big trees in this. We'll see. And it's good to layer pieces. You're going to end up using a lot more pieces that way, but it looks better layering pieces than trying to take the time to get one piece to just sit right, you know? Like I kind of did there. I layered two to line it instead of spin it just perfectly, you know? So here we're going to go back in with the terrain painter. I'm going to go with the rough rock terrain. I believe I paint everything at least somewhat this rough rock, because I want the coaster to sort of be going through the rock, and I at this point don't know how much brush I'm going to put back there. I do end up putting a little bit. We go back in with the compact dirt just to add some variety there. So adding some compact dirt. And I believe we are going to put a flat ride. So I knew that I wanted a flat ride here. I didn't know what at the time. And what I end up going for is the tiny eye. And I go with the tiny eye for two reasons. I have the idea of theming this flat ride to the coaster, number one. And number two, I look at it and I'm like, that kind of looks like a bunch of eggs. So I have the idea to theme this flat ride as kind of like the nest of the dragon lair. And I try to create eggs out of some art pieces. In the end, you'll see what happens, but right now we're just going to try to theme this flat ride to be a nest of the dragon. I wish it was a little bit easier trying to find these art pieces. It took me a lot of searching to see what would work for this. And they have some pieces that would work, and that's what I'm doing here, just sort of laying out what I think would look good. Kind of making a palette. You'll see what we end up going with. I think it comes out okay. One thing they could have, they did an okay job with the attaching scenery to rides. I think it can be good. I think for me, it's extremely difficult. But that's really just because there's not enough. I might not be able to find them, but I don't think there's enough art pieces. I think there could be more shapes. I think there should be a hollow half circle. That's really what I was hoping for, was a hollow half circle, and I could not find that. So here I'm trying to add polka dots. I'm trying my best here to theme this out, but it doesn't end up too good. It kind of looks like a sesame seed bun of a hot dog, or of a hamburger. Kind of like one of those pretty patties from SpongeBob, if you know what I'm saying. So I think it looks decent. I think from a distance it could work, but close up it doesn't work. And it's also very annoyingly hard to get these on there. I just wish there was an easier way to do all this. Maybe if there's a pre-made egg. I haven't looked for that. I don't see why there would be, but that would have been nice. Just scale up the egg and place it right over the little I don't know what they're called. I guess seats? Cabins? trying to change the color to make it fit, seeing how the theme would work. And looking back, it might work if you just add the top. It's an idea. I think here I end up just scrapping the whole idea. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we end up giving up on that. We still keep the theme because I believe the things already kind of look like eggs, which is nice. So we were able to keep my whole idea of the egg nest flat ride. So we just kind of changed the colors to make it fit more of the roller coaster and the area. Going with that orange again and the green. And white. And that really fits the Dragon Lair coaster, I believe. So here we are looking for pieces that we can turn this thing into a nest. I find these logs that I believe look good. So we want to add the entrance and the exit before we do this. We're going to change the platform of the ride to match the coaster path, and then we're gonna kind of go in. This is all me improvising here on how to turn this into a nest. So I think the root section of these trees help a lot to make it look like a nest, and the way I'm aligning them also helps. I think it comes out okay. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So we are going to figure out how to do this small section. And looking back, I think it looks really cool. I mean, I'm trying to make a giant dragon nest, and I think it kind of fits the vibe. Vibe check? We're checking the vibe. What do you guys think? Going for random planks on the ground? You know, nest vibes. I even find a feather piece. Come on. Dragons don't even have feathers. It's all good. It looks good. And we're going to fill it out with some bushes just to really sell the whole theme. I think the bushes bring it home, man. Call me crazy. Call me anything you want, bub. Sold to me. Looks like a nest. And we want to add a sign to the flat ride, of course. So we're going for similar sign, different name obviously. Just kind of using this same I guess signpost you could say. We're going to be trying to figure this out. The hitboxes on this thing were just really annoying me. Like I'm clicking on the sign and somehow selecting the bush behind it every single time. Like, whatever. We're all good. Just don't get it. The name of this ride is going to be Egg Drop. I think it's a cute name. I think it matches the theming, matches the vibe. You know, family vibe, kid vibe, family friendly. So, looks like we do the same thing, but start over with its own pieces, because we want to make it its own sign. I mean, I thought I was going to cut a corner, but no corners cut here. So once again, using the 3D letters, we're going to spell out our name and then organize how we see fit. And let me know what you think about the name, Egg Drop. I think it's funny. I think it fits. It especially fits the type of ride, you know, just eggs going around like they're about to drop. Add a little bit of lean to that sign, you know. Yeah, leaning. Here we're gonna get a planter to stick that sign into. That's right. And that's looking good. We want to change. Oh! And as you can see here, what I'm talking about, I'm clicking on the sign clearly, and it is going straight to the bush. It's like, how big is that bush's hitbox? Come on. Just adding some of these nice nest bushes to the sign. And we attempt to add a, egg to the sign. I think I made it pretty low effort here. But I think it's adorable. Let me know what you think about this sign. I think it's good. And nice jump cut. I don't know what that was for, but it's just what I have recorded apparently. Here we are getting, I always wanted to put a transport ride in that little section, and I'm kind of just figuring out what we're going to put in this area. So I think we begin to make the building. Yes. So for this area, I had thought of locker like locker rooms almost. At least, not so much locker rooms, but changing rooms with lockers on the outside of the building. You see that a lot at water parks, is some nice lockers to put your stuff in. So we're just changing the layout of the building here. Or sorry, we are building the general layout of the building. We're going to add a nice wooden deck area to put our lockers onto. And we're going to fill it in with toilets and changing rooms. We're going to add a path, line it up a little bit nicer. Come on, average roller coaster enthusiast, you can do better. And we want to turn on point snapping. So if you're stamping out a path, point snapping setting is really nice. Another tip and trick for you. And just putting walls in between the facilities, that really helps close it off, make it look nice. It's just that small detail that we're talking about here. If you guys are liking this series so far, drop a comment. Love to hear from you. I will continue putting these videos out whether people comment or not, but if you want to drop me some encouragement, that would be nice too. Thank you. Just adding these pillars into the corner do so much, and it's so simple. Another nice tip for you. And it's funny, I'd rather take a piece off of another previously made building, split it from the building, and add it to another one, than find it in the search. But you know, it works. A few extra steps, but I don't have to change the color, which is nice. I just find it hilarious. For those of you wondering, this is the Planet Coaster soundtrack. That is one thing I love about Planet Coaster, is the music. Straight up bangers, okay? Bangers. And for this building, we are going to take something from the previous park I made. The actual lockers, I made a set out of, random objects. You'll see it when I import the blueprint, but we're going to put the lockers on that little deck section, and we're just going to fill out this building with some trim. It's one thing I like about this game and the pathing and all the new updates is You can make a building that has paths going through it so much easier. Like, this was next to impossible in the first game. Just want everyone to know that if you hadn't played the first game, it was ridiculously hard. But now that you have the stamp for the paths, and you know, you can just put the path on the grid, it is just so nice. Make more dynamic buildings. It's really hard to explain for anyone who hasn't played the first game, but I mean, with 300, 400 hours in the first game, I'm telling you right now, you gotta just trust me. Like, this is revolutionary stuff, okay? I might be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Just a little crazy. And per usual of this theme, we're going with the thatch roof. You know me, I cannot get enough of that thatch roof. And we're going to be finishing up the thatch roof. Can't stop saying it, it's such a good name. I wish I lived in a time where I had to build a thatch roof. Much more simpler times, you know what I'm saying? Here's the lockers from my previous build. As you can see, we got 2 posts. We got another wood piece as the base. We then have a box. I don't know what the name is, but it's in the aquatic piece. And then we add a little tiny thing that looks like a handle. And wouldn't you know, it comes out with a sick locker set. If anyone really wants this locker set, let me know. I'll put it down for download if anyone wants it, but I'm only doing it if I get a comment asking for it. So we're going to finish out the roof. Add some windows. Make it look nice. Looking real tasty with those windows. And we're going to add this to the backside because I noticed there's nothing there. So we're going to be adding this down. For some reason I was getting this problem this whole build, I think. I don't really know what it was. For some reason everything was just like not lining up by a hair. But we ended up getting it. Making it look real nice. Now we're going to finally go ahead and add in the roof. We're going to cap it off. Nice ridge cap. And of course, we gotta bring in the cap large, see what it looks like. Of course, doesn't look good. Take it out. And that's looking a little bit better. So we want to go for the bamboo flat. Add a little bit of the ceiling, hide the guts. And that's going to be really it for episode 5. I hope you enjoyed it. This section of the park is really coming together. Be sure to drop a comment, tell me what you think. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.